All right, Nikki. We always like to say you never know who's going to show up on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. He is a former WCW Tag Team Champion. He is a member of the NWO. Nikki, let's bring him in here. Buff Bagwell. Buff, welcome to the show.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. How about you guys?
We're doing well here.
It's Friday at the bar. We're doing good.
Well, 3 years ago that would mean something to me, but since 3 years I'm at a bar, but just a restaurant bar.
I hear you. And then say we call it our happy hour. Whether you drink or not drink, it's all about wrestling, right? We love wrestling. It's our happy hour.
Well, it's all about being happy.
Exactly. Well, Buff, when we start here, just let everyone know kind of what you've been up to, and since obviously we've seen you on TV and things like that.
Yeah. So July. Well, just to catch everybody up real quick, August 17th of 2020, I had a really bad car wreck, and out of that came a really bad situation with my knee that over the next 5 years involved 40 something surgeries and just trying to fix it, kept trying to fix it, and it was I just couldn't get it wouldn't fix, and went to my deepest, darkest addiction during that because of that really is what dove me into my worst area, was that car wreck. And I just couldn't believe I finally hurt myself to where I couldn't fix it. And so, came in, I got sober, and then started trying to fix everything. Well, the ending of me fixing everything was amputating my leg on July 10th, 2025. So it got infected again. So we went in, amputated my leg, and that was about 8 or 9 weeks ago. And let's see, August, September. Yeah. So you're talking 9 weeks without a leg. And I've done more without a leg in 9 weeks than I did in 5 years. Who cuts their leg off and life gets better? I'm not sure, but it happened to me. We didn't realize that. We thought I was going to cut my leg off and it was going to be brutal. It was going to be sad. And what are we going to do? And the catch behind my story is I couldn't bend my leg. And when you can't bend your knee, it cripples you, not only on the leg that you can't bend, but it cripples you on your other leg, because when you can't bend one knee, there's not many things you can do with the other one. You're kind of limited just to kind of walking around with a peg leg. And for anybody that's seen me over the last 5 years, they've seen Mark Bagwell, hobbling around with that leg. And now that I've wrapped my head around what we did, I should have done it 2 years ago, and would have if it had been proposed to me. It wasn't proposed to me, so nobody thinks cutting the leg off is going to solve anything, but it truly did. It solved my problem. When you can't bend a knee, your best bet is to cut it off, because you will get your life back. And again, that's hard to explain to somebody until you're sitting in it. But even when I walk now, my back and the way my body is, I'm able to walk with a normal gait, a normal stride with my prosthetic leg. So by cutting my leg off, I got both of my legs back. It's crazy. Look at my videos. I'm smiling, I'm laughing. It's crazy.
It's fantastic.
It is interesting because now people on this show know this, but obviously you can't tell with the camera and everything. I was born disabled, so I have a similar form of like what's spina bifida, the equivalent. And I played sports growing up, and a lot of people had debilitating accidents, and what they always say is it's that time after and the mental kind of recovery, and it's just as crucial, if not more important, I guess. Can you talk about what that's been like? What has helped you in your recovery process so far?
Stacy, when this happened, I didn't realize that Stacy was having a much more difficult time with this than I thought. She really thought that I was going to cut my leg off and I was going to be a miserable old man. She was really concerned that we should be seeking counselors and getting ready for this. And, I didn't really know what to expect. I just know that when you decide to cut your leg off and you wake up the following morning in a good mood, you made the right decisions. I think first the answer all starts with God. My relationship with Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, is number one. And number two is Stacy Brown. And number three is myself. In that order, I've been able to put together 3 years of sobriety. And in the same order, I've been able to overcome this leg. And I think the true answer, though, is it's hard to explain how miserable I was for that 5 years. So, again, I didn't know that cutting my leg off would make it better, but it has. Sitting on a toilet. I know that's kind of gross, but let's just talk about it for a second. For real life. When you sit on a toilet today, straighten one of your legs as straight as it can go. And then when you see how uncomfortable that is, I want you to times that by 5 years. And now when I sit on a toilet, it's comfortable. Now wrap your head around where you sit. Gym equipment, cars, airplanes, restaurants, everywhere I sit. And not unfortunately, the truth is we sit a lot. Humans sit a lot. I'm telling you, I'm comfortable for the first time in my life. All of the gym equipment I fit into now, all of the toilets, every toilet I sit on now, car seats, airplanes. My life is better by cutting my leg off. It's crazy.
That's great to hear. So, Buff, just kind of, we open the show. I mean, obviously, it's a big weekend for professional wrestling. You know a lot about competition and going head to head, with the competitor. What are your thoughts on both, whether it's WrestlePalooza and All Out this weekend, and what's kind of the mindset for someone who's been in that locker room, when you're going head to head in a pay-per-view setting like that, or even live?
It was so much fun. It's what made wrestling what it was. I think it really is what made it was. It turned a business that people thought was fake. And by making it a competition between $2 billion companies, it made it real. And having something real you could put around the world of fake pro wrestling, it did wonders for the business. And all the wrestlers and some of the people know that wrestling isn't fake. It's predetermined. There's nothing fake about pro wrestling, brother. Nothing. When you get in the ring with Goldberg, none of it is fake. The ending is predetermined. But that don't mean that getting there, you didn't get beat the heck up. So it really is a very serious, high contact sport. But that adding that to two big companies going at each other is what made Monday Night Wars, man. To be in that locker room, brother, and in our locker room, every locker room was a television. And on that television was the WWF. And in their locker room, in every locker room, and everyone, the WCW was on. We were on from 8 to 10, and they were on from 9 to 11. At 8:59 p.m., brother, Eastern Standard Time, we had Sting coming down from the Raptors. We had the NWO coming out. They had Stone Cold and The Rock. and the Wrestle Monday Night Wars started, and it was incredible and it was fun. It was like a football game if the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played in different cities. It was still a competition. You're just doing it on television in different cities. But what we did at 8:59 is what kept the ratings there, man. So every locker room was on its toes. Every guy was tan, ready to go. Whatever their gimmick was, they were at the best of their gimmick. It was just the best time in the world for professional wrestling. It was wonderful.
Well, you just kind of brought up like everyone's gimmick, and obviously we can. You joining the NWO was huge. You coming out on Monday night and turning on Riggs, joining the NWO. But I want to sort of talk about what it felt to like turn heel, to like be a bad guy with the bad guys. Because like kind of people say that it's more fun to be like the heel. So I want to know what your thoughts are on that.
The heel thing, man, is it really is. I think to every wrestler, it's easier. All of us have, a bad side in us or a side that we can dial up. And I think most of us can do it probably a little more natural than we think. But I was able to turn it up a little more than I thought as well. You just take a person that has been yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, my whole life, and you just say, you know what, you ain't got to do that. And when there's no rules, you can have a lot of fun, man. And I mean a lot of fun. And I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, they would try to get me to quit smiling. I couldn't do it. Scott Steiner. Steiner could. Sorry, a bug just flew in my mouth. Steiner, right? Steiner could do something to somebody out there, and it was vicious. And then when I did it, I would laugh, and the people would laugh. So they were always try to get me. They were like, "Bagwell, quit laughing, man." And I said, I can't. It's funny to me. I love it. I think it's funny, and I'm glad I didn't stop the laughing. It's just I had more fun with it by laughing about it and being a smart aleck bad guy by laughing. Like, look at me, that's incredible. Look at my body, and to me it was funny. It was funny that I would come out and talk the way I did and do what I would do. It just was funny. But a bad guy. It's pretty simple. A bad guy has no rules. And when you're a good guy, you got to make sure you don't be a heel. So you got to do all the right stuff when you talk. And when you're a heel, you just let it fly, man. So it's just more fun to be a bad guy.
It's funny to me that they didn't want you to smile because honestly, I remember you big hat, big smile, always. So I'm glad you kept that.
Well, and again, but they were trying to get me to when I would do something like, we'd beat somebody up. They wanted me to have that serious face when we went off the air. And I just couldn't do it. So when it would end, I'd be like, how about that? Yeah. And it was funny. But then when I laughed, that made you guys laugh.
Yeah.
And that wasn't what they were wanting. But after they saw it a few times, they were like, you know what? We like that. Keep that going. Keep the laugh going, brother.
So obviously, we can't not talk about NWO, but obviously the magnitude of being in the NWO was huge of how it was growing. Did you feel like it obviously supported the individual more so, or do you feel like the group overshadowed at times the individuals that were in it?
I think that I really believe that the NWO was the greatest thing that ever happened. I do believe that it brought me stardom. Um, I just think that we got a little carried away with the amount of people. It just got a little watered down is all. It's what I feel. But I think it did a plus for everybody that was in it. I mean, I remember looking at Riggs's face that night that Nash came in and asked me that I want to be in the NWO. And I remember looking at Scotty and thinking, oh my God, what's Scotty going to do? And it was, unfortunately, I mean, he had a great little run after that, but it was the beginning of the end for Scotty. And he knew it and I knew it, but he still had again, he got with a flock and he did well, but it just wasn't as good as going to the NWO. And actually, I don't know this story, but Scotty, wow, Scotty was the one that they were going to pick. As he's got a story on that, and I don't know that story, but they were going to leave me since I'd been with WCW for so long. I was going to be Team WCW, and there's only a handful of guys that was there from the beginning, and I'm one of those guys. I was there in the very early stages, and there for the whole 10-year run. And so they wanted to keep me as that guy, and keep Scotty as the NWO guy, but they decided on me, and I don't have that story, but Riggs does. But I'm glad they chose me for sure.
Well,
Best song in the world.
I was thinking, like, WCW had like the craziest sets and the craziest locations. Like, you're at a mall, at a beach, like in Sturgis, like all the New Japan shows. Like, is there a favorite kind of set or place that you guys wrestled that wasn't in like a typical arena?
There was. We did television tapings down at Disney, and I thought it was spectacular. I really did. It was really a lot of fun, and they brought the fans in to the arena, and they were fans that really wasn't wrestling fans. They were fans that were trying to get out of the heat, and they would come into a setting, and we had a guy that would say yay and boo, and he would tell the fans what to do, and it made for fantastic television tapings. Keep in mind, guys, in 1991 and 92, I would be on the streets in the streets in Atlanta, Georgia, at Center Stage, and I was on the street in my wrestling gear, and I was begging people to come in free, not to pay for a ticket, a free seat to watch us do television taping. And nobody was coming in. This is a free seat. Chip Burnham's there with the tickets. He was the head of all of our ticket stuff. And we had to pay 2 models to be at every television taping. They got paid $75 each, which is more than we got paid because we didn't get paid for television. And the reason for those 2 fans is so that we had 2 people that had their teeth. Swear to God. Hey, so nobody noticed it, but in and out of every commercial break was the same guy and the same girl. $75. So when wrestling went from that to Disney, and we had a crowd full of people that were excited, and they were clapping and booing because the guy's telling them to, blast. So in the tape, we had cool outfits, and they made my first American Male outfit because we didn't have nothing ready for television, and so I told Scotty Riggs to go buy a pair of white cowboy boots, and I said, that's all you got. I said, bring your favorite pair of jeans and a pair of white cowboy boots. I said, I got everything else figured out. So I had black cowboy boots, and I had a black and white matching cool sleeveless shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave him the white one with the white boots, his jeans, my black boots, and my black shirt. We go to Disney with that, and we get there, and we have American Males in glitter put on the back, and we had black and white sequins put down the jean sides, and to this day, they were one of our best outfits.
Love it.
Nothing like a little Spark.
But then to go from there to selling out Georgia domes, buddy, it was an incredible ride that I was a part of, and it was wonderful and an honor to be part of it.
But Buff, we got some callers, some of our regulars on the line. I want to ask you a couple questions here.
Okay.
Bring him in. Everybody's here.
Okay.
It's our OG from New Jersey, Steve. Steven.
Hello, Mr. Buff. Thank you for doing this today.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
I remember you going all the way back to the GFW days when you were the Handsome Stranger. I recently read that Bill Eadie helped you create that gimmick.
He did not help me do it. It was his. It was his. It was totally his gimmick. It was, to my understanding, it was his wife's. His wife came up with the Handsome Stranger, and they presented it to me. And to be honest with you, I was embarrassed about it. This little mask that somebody could flick off. I'm like, keep in mind, we were trying to convince thousands of people that fake pro wrestling is real. And I've got a mask on like the Lone Ranger. It don't even have any ropes on it. So why didn't people just take it off? Years later, I remember somebody walking up in the WCW locker room. I think it was Mick Foley. And he said, you know what, man? I really like that Handsome Stranger gimmick you had. And I went, you did? And I started realizing that when you don't hear anything about a gimmick, it's a good thing. Because the boys ain't going to come up and go, man, that's cool. If they don't say nothing, then it was cool. And nobody said a word to me about the Handsome Stranger until years later. And now to this day, I'm proud of that character. But while I was doing it, I was embarrassed. Handing flowers out, you know?
That's a shame.
Like an idiot.
I also enjoyed that gimmick, and now to see the first time somebody made me watch an episode of The Bachelor and I saw the roses being handed out, you were the first person I thought of.
I love it.
Well done, Steven.
Thank you. Thank you.
We got another regular on the line. He's our friend. He loves talking ECW and Extreme Wrestling, but I think he may have actually interviewed you before. Josh, friend Josh.
Hey, Mr. Bagwell, how goes it, sir? It's been 2 years since I've been in front of your computer, your phone screen. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic, man. How about you?
I'm doing great. I've been following your story. You honestly, what I wanted to tell you, I didn't really have a question. I got all my questions out, but I wanted to say thank you because of your interview you did with me. I was able to become something in my group, and I went on to interview guys like Sabu. I went on to interview Bill Alfonso and those guys. And then I also became Sabu's producer before he passed away. And that was because of the interview I did with you, because you were so raw and emotional in it. And you actually gave a shit in the interview. Like we see here, you're giving us those stories. So I wanted to say thank you for that. And thank you for just being Buff Bagwell, man. Like that character itself was just a ball of energy. And when you brought up the smile, and I know Nikki, you guys are both, you and Nick are going to remember this, but that smile, anytime anybody did something nasty in that NWO and you just pointed at the camera and just laughed your ass off, was perfection. I guess
to be honest, you can't walk as great. As someone in a wheelchair, the strut is perfect for someone in a wheelchair.
I love the strut. Dude, I used to go into classrooms, and I told you that in that interview, doing the strut at people. If I did have a question, though, it would be, is your niece still continuing? And is there still any plans of you possibly doing something with her as a manager status?
What I missed what you said is what's still happening?
I believe you said your niece was in.
Oh, yeah, niece. I thought you said, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought you said knee. Great question. And no, it got to where she was she had babies and she was already getting a little older. It was going to be a long shot anyway, and it would be my fault that it didn't progress. But it was just my knee. I couldn't really do what I needed to do in the ring for. I couldn't get down and get dirty. I'd get mad at her for not being able to do something. And I wanted to be able to show her and then do it right away and go like that, do it like that. And I couldn't do that. And so it limited me and I would get angry. So that's, but no, it's not continued. We definitely put a stop on that. And she's got a wonderful family and does great. But what was your next question besides the niece?
Oh no, I think he was just talking about
Yeah, he just asked if that was still going to be a thing
if that was still. He was just asking if that was still a
in the works.
in the works. I think.
Yeah, it's not. No.
We got one more caller question, and then Nikki's got, I know, a big one that she.
My big question.
It's a very controversial question. We got a friend from overseas. He's from Scotland. Reese is joining us. Reese.
Hello, everybody.
Good on, Reese.
What's up, Buff?
Hey, Reese, how you doing, buddy?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
It's a pleasure. This is one I've been very, very looking forward to. I've got other memories that nobody else is going to talk about. Obviously, we've never met, but he's somebody I've always wanted to meet, Buff Bagwell. But then again, I remember your TNA segment in 2005 when you humiliated Jeff Jarrett. So thank you. So there's one. I actually have a question for you, sir, and this is one that I think not many people ask anybody in terms of when they get out of the ring. Because again, it can be hard. Obviously, there's moments where you miss it, and then there's moments where you want to get back in. Obviously, your circumstance, it's a shame we'll never see you in the ring again.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hopefully, we may never.
Whoa,
I'm just saying,
brother.
we may never. I'm just saying, we may never.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch, my friend. No, I am. You will 100%.
Oh, thank God.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure at what capacity, but you will definitely see me in some type of setting where I do a last match of some kind.
Well, that I win then. Win. I do have a different type of question for you. Okay. Because it's been a while since we've seen you on like TV. So this question is actually something that I've been thinking about for quite a while. And what I want to ask you is, when did you feel at peace with yourself that you weren't on TV anymore and you were like quietly behind the scenes and you were watching like the next generation? Because not many people answer like a question like that because it feels like they're like, I've actually seen people in interviews before where they've been asked that question. Yeah. And it wasn't like a negative. It was more like it was just the person, like the real person, instead of like the character. And they were asked, and they felt like they were being attacked, but it wasn't an attack on them. It was a lot of people just struggle with the pace. So I'm wondering, like, when did you feel at peace? Like you're not like you got to watch the next generation. You can go like, I would still love to get it with them in the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and man, I know when that day was, and that day was never. Are you kidding? Every time I watch, I get mad, or not mad, but I get like, man, I can. When I had my legs still, I could be like, I can still do that, and I could do it better, and I can. And it wasn't like I dogged anybody out. I just felt like when I would see certain guys, it let me know I could still do it. And believe it or not, that was enough for me. It was enough to at least know that I could do it. I think the day will come that may bother me is when I look at it like with the leg and say, I can't do that anymore. And that day's now, but it don't depress me or nothing. I'm 55, so it's truly like, I had a great career. I wish it would have been longer with the WWE, but it was still a great career. I had a great time doing it. I paid the bills and had a lot of fun, and just had a great time with it. So I'm able to still do what I love doing, which is sign autographs and have fun with fans. And, you know, I'll get back in the ring again one last time at least, just to show I can do it with the leg. And I think that's good enough for me.
But Nikki's most controversial question of
this is my big question. We end all our interviews with this because it's my favorite. Besides my husband, wrestling is breakfast food. What is your favorite breakfast food?
What is my favorite breakfast food?
Thing. It's Sunday morning. What are you eating? What's your favorite?
It's a little boring, but really I love breakfast. But I don't. I think I love it because I don't do it. I have done a shake for breakfast for the last 40 years of my life. So my mom and dad would have breakfast dinner at our house.
Oh,
And even back in the day, we didn't do a lot of breakfast. We would do eggs and bacon and sausage and pancakes and toast, buttered toast at night for dinner with, you know, I just loved that. But I'm a huge breakfast lover, just not at breakfast. But pancakes are definitely my favorite. But, you know, just a good old eggs, bacon, grits, toast, and a couple of pancakes on the side would be my favorite meal of all, and that's my favorite breakfast.
Love it.
Well put. Well,
thank you, sir.
Before we let you get out of
here,
where can everyone find you and let everyone know where they can catch up with you?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, and great time with you guys today. But the way to find me is MarcusBuffBagwell.com. That's my store. But if you want to get in touch with Buff Bagwell, you go to MarcusBuffBagwell@gmail.com. That's my personal email. I answer all my emails personally. So everything else on Facebook and all that stuff is just Marcus Buff Bagwell. So please check it out. But the best way to get in touch with me would be MarcusBuffBagwell@gmail. And you know, the biggest thing I do now that I have a lot of fun with is my YouTube channel. Go check out my YouTube, man. My Marcus Buff Bagwell YouTube. Follow the story of nobody else has seen this yet. Look.
There we go.
There you go. Awesome.
So that's the prosthetic. And so the whole story I'm telling on my YouTube channel. So go to Marcus Buff Bagwell YouTube and check it out. And I think I had a video come out today that was really good. It was my first day walking with my prosthetic.
Right.
So check it out.
Looking forward to it.
I think another good one too that a lot of people don't know about, but a lot of people do, is cameo.com. That I have a lot of fun with that. People really contact me a lot, but a lot of people don't know about it. So go to cameo.com and I can do a birthday wish. Hell, I've quit jobs for people. I've got jobs for people. I'm the mouthpiece for you on any topic. I've asked women to marry people before. It's crazy. It's crazy. So go to cameo.com. I have a lot of fun with that as well.
Well, Buff, pleasure having you.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Best of luck.
Thank you, guys.
Watching the recovery as you go out there. Your inspiration.
Thanks, Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, Buff Bagwell. Nikki, making new friends.